Hi guys, welcome back. Hope you're all well. Today I'm going to speak a little bit about dating. Pretty unusual topic for this channel, but we're kind of turning into a bit of a men's lifestyle channel. We do a bit of outdoors stuff and a bit of tactical stuff, and obviously we're doing a bit of fitness stuff as well, so it's kind of going that way. And a big subject for a lot of guys, especially younger guys, is obviously dating, how to get dates. Is there any sort of magic formula? And there's loads and loads of stuff online at the moment that kind of irks me a little bit. It annoys me because I think they're being pretty disingenuous, just to get clicks and likes and whatever. So I kind of want to drop what I think is the truth on the matter from the perspective of just a normal guy. There's two things in life that I've never really struggled with, as an adult. Certainly maybe when I was younger at school or whatever, but as an adult, I've never struggled to get a job, and I've never struggled to get a date with a girl. And I'm not, bigging that up, and that will become kind of obvious as to why I'm not bigging that up, because I'm going to explain, how that worked, and that it wasn't anything, I'm not a male model, I'm not extremely good looking, I haven't been blessed with, rich parents or anything like that. So I haven't got any of the traits that a lot of people would say you need. And I want to break down what it is I think that you actually do need to procure a date with a lady that you like the look of. So what is it that is attractive? And first of all, let's break down, what is it that is perpetuated as being attractive? So I see loads and loads of stuff at the moment about these kind of alpha males or high value males and high value females, all this kind of thing. And it's very much aimed at the idea that, a high value male is someone that earns like millions of pounds a year. He drives like a Ferrari or some sort of supercar. He's got, jobs at mega salaries, extremely wealthy, suits that are worth £8,000, all this kind of stuff. And it's just beyond most people's reach. And even if you follow those ridiculous, oh, you can get rich just like me kind of videos, you're probably not going to achieve anything near that. They're looking at attracting what they call high value females, and these females are Instagram models that have these crazy physiques, and they're earning thousands of pounds on Instagram just modeling and whatever. And to me, I don't think either of those people I would describe as high value for me personally. You have to look at what high value means to you. And to me, I don't particularly want to date an Instagram model. And I might like the look of some Instagram models, I'm not denying that, but they're not probably people that I would select to date. And equally, there's plenty of girls out there that aren't particularly looking for some kind of guy that's speeding around in a Ferrari and earning like £2 million a year. Again, there are girls like that, and probably those two classes of people go hand in hand. I'm sure that the Instagram models are looking for these, ultra rich guys, and vice versa. That would kind of lead to other issues, that both of those people would tend to think that the other is disingenuous. That would probably lead to affairs, etc. So I don't see that as a kind of high value relationship. My idea of a high value woman would be, someone who's ambitious, loyal. And when I say ambitious, I'm not talking about she has to earn £1 million. I'm just saying that she has to want to work, that she's motivated to achieve, that she's got interests that are above and beyond just getting out of bed in the morning. So that's pretty basic stuff. Personal hygiene is a good standard, takes care of their appearance, is a loyal person, a friendly person, is warm, is kind, humorous, enjoys having a laugh, has a lot of activities that they want to do. They want to get out and see and do things. So that to me is a high value person, and that reflects to men and women. I would select males that followed those characteristics as friends, and I would select females that follow those kind of characteristics as prospective dating partners. So I'm not, being ultra picky. And that's one of the problems, I think, in this sort of Instagram life that everyone's leading now, that people are like ultra picky and they think that they have to have these very, very defined, like girls are saying they need a guy who's like 6'3", earns £1 million a year, drives a Bugatti, blah, blah, blah. You're closing yourself off to sort of 99.5% of the male population. And the same with guys, they want these Instagram models. They've got to be 22 years old. They've got to have blonde hair. They've got to weigh 60 kilos, whatever, have a tiny waist. You're shutting yourself off from a huge percentage of the female population. So firstly, expand your parameters a little bit. Be kind of honest about what you're looking for. And just remember, it's not just a visual thing. You're going to end up having a relationship with this person. You're going to have to live with them. And after a while, the friendship side of that is very important. You don't want to live with someone who looks beautiful, but it treats you horribly. And equally, you don't want to live with someone that treats you really nice, but you're absolutely not attracted to in any way, shape or form. If you're going to do that, you might as well just live with one of your guy friends. So, there's a balance to be had that's somewhere in the middle. So to me, what is the key for successfully achieving a date with these type of people, these type of ladies? Well, it's real simple. It's the same that I just mentioned about job interviews, and I've never been without paid work. I think the same transfers through to getting a date, and that is basically having some confidence and showing that confidence both in the way you speak and your body language. So if I'm going for a job interview, I'm going to shake the person firmly by the hand. I'm going to give them good body language. I'm going to look at them in the eye when I speak to them. I'm going to speak in a articulate and pleasant manner. I'm not going to use loads of slang words and stupid terminology. And I'm going to be a person who appears to be completely honest, because if you start sort of looking the other way when you're speaking, or looking down and touching your face and all these kind of nervous gestures, that comes across as very disingenuous, that you're not actually telling the truth. So I try to avoid all those things, and they can be just born out of nerves. But if you're aware of that, then you can actually approach people in what appears to be a very confident and honest manner. It's as simple as that. It goes really well in an interview. The other thing I do in an interview is make sure I've got plenty of questions. So I'm good at actively listening to the person, and I've got lots of questions to ask them. And I'm also prepared for any questions they ask me, so that the conversation can flow. Because there's nothing worse in a job interview than not having anything to say. You're not going to get the job. If you've got a load of questions, you appear really interested, then they're going to be impressed. If you've done a bit of research on their company, they're going to be impressed. And the same goes in the dating world. I would go up to someone that I like the look of, and I would say, hey, hi, my name's Paul. How are you doing? I just happened to notice you look amazing, and I was just wondering, if you would like to go out for dinner with me. It's as simple as that. And you have to be prepared for rejection, because not every girl, no matter how you look, there's going to be some girls that are in a relationship already, so cross them off, they're going to say no. There's going to be some girls that just don't like the look of you because you're not the type of person that they're attracted to you. That doesn't mean you're ugly, it doesn't mean you're bad, it just means that that particular girl isn't particularly attracted to your type, that she's got a different type. She might like guys that are, 6'3" and a completely different ethnicity to you. So don't take it too hard, that's just life. And there's a degree of a numbers game there, that you're going to have to go through some rejection in order to get some, achievable dates. And it's exactly the same in the job world. If you're seeking a job, you're probably not going to walk into the first job interview and get that job. You might have to go to 10 different job interviews, and one of them might offer you a job. And it's exactly the same in the dating world. And you should look at those two things in the same manner. Like, that you wouldn't fear not getting a job. That's rejection, but no one's scared of not getting that job. You will want the job, but you're not going to cry if you don't get it. And the same in the dating world. You shouldn't fear rejection. It's probably going to happen. If you go up to them completely honestly and you pay them a compliment and you're honest and say, I really like the way you look, I notice you from across the street or whatever it is, or over the other side of the restaurant, And I just had to come over and say, you look beautiful, you know, here's my number. If you ever want to go out for a drink, I'd love to take you out. If you're honest about that, there's no girl on the planet that isn't going to like that approach, right? Because even if she's got someone, even if she doesn't find you attractive, you've just, you know, really boosted her ego, no matter how you look. Like a lady came up to me the other week in a supermarket, and she was like 75 years old, and I picked something up that she had dropped, and she came up to me and she said, "Oh, you're such a nice man, and if I was younger, I would be making eyes at you." And she was such a sweet lady. Clearly, I'm not attracted to that lady, but the point being, I walked out of that supermarket feeling really good because she paid me a big compliment. You know, she said, "You're the kind of guy that a few years ago I would have kind of been making eyes at or whatever." And that made me smile. It made me feel happy. And that's a human thing. You know, that's not male or female. That every human on the planet enjoys getting an honest compliment off someone. If you pay them a really honest compliment, you look them dead in the eye and you give them a non-creepy, and that's important, but a non-creepy compliment. You know, don't say to someone, "Oh, I've been staring at you for weeks. You know, I watch your every move through my bedroom window, and I finally plucked up the courage to talk to you." That's not a pleasant situation, and don't do that, guys. You know, just go and pay an honest compliment without kind of being creepy. The other thing is, don't stare at women for like hours on end. Like if you, loads of it gets posted up from gyms. And I've seen guys do it in gyms, you know. Sometimes guys are just sitting there and they're like minding their own business, and girls come and say, "Hey, you looked at me," or whatever. Yeah, sure, that's not good. But equally, I've seen guys that are clearly like staring at these girls hardcore in gyms. And that's not going to be popular with any ladies. You know, I wouldn't like it if someone was just staring at me for like half an hour in a gym and watching my every move. No matter whether you're male or female, that's an uncomfortable thing to do. So that isn't going to get you a date. You know, staring at people for ages and ages isn't a motivating factor for females to say they want to go out for a drink with you. In terms of eye contact, I would just make a quick eye contact and smile. And if they smile back, then that's kind of an invite maybe to go and say hello. It's not a invite to say, hey, they're definitely going to go out with you, but at least they've smiled back. That might be just them being polite, but if they don't smile back at all, I probably wouldn't even go and say, "Hi, you know, I've noticed you, would you like to go out for a drink?" They're either really busy, they haven't got time for it, or they're just not interested, they don't want to have a discussion with you. But that's as far as I would go with eye contact. And then once you've done that and you've paid them that compliment, it doesn't matter if they reject you, because they're going to go away feeling really good because you paid them an honest compliment. You're going to have built your confidence a little bit, because every little time that you make that move and you do that, the rejection's going to hurt a bit less. You know, it's like anything, like doing sports. You have a go at something, you fail, it feels really bad the first time you fail. You feel, oh God, you know, I don't want to do that again. But if you keep doing it and keep failing, eventually you'll win and you'll do well, and all those fails don't matter anymore. And every time you have one, it kind of hurts you a bit less and a bit less. So you need to kind of toughen yourself against rejection, and you just need to keep doing that in the nicest possible way. Always be pleasant, always smile. You know, a lot of people say, oh, girls really want these sort of dark, mysterious, mean guys or whatever. No girl wants to be approached like that, though. So maybe keep an air of mystique. You know, when you go out on a date, you can kind of keep an air of mystique, you know, build a bit of that around yourself. But girls don't want to be approached in the first place by some sort of mysterious guy that's really dark and concerning. That is pretty effed up. You know, they're not going to be saying yes to that date because they're going to probably think you're a serial killer. There's a way that you can smile. If you're smiling with your eyes and you actually like that person and you convey that through your body language, that goes a massively long way. And eventually you will get a girl that says she would like to go out for a drink with you, because girls, guess what? They want to go out for drinks with guys that they like the look of, that they can trust, that are honest, that seem like they're going to be good fun. And if you go up and you've got like this serious face on and you're not kind of smiling and you've been staring at them for half an hour, that doesn't convey that that's going to be a fun date with a really nice guy. That conveys kind of something else entirely. all girls want to go out, even if they don't end up, getting with you after that date or having a second date or whatever. They would like to be going out, spoken to, in a nice manner, treated pleasantly, having fun, or all those things, tick boxes. We all want that as human beings. So, guys, it's simple. And that's why I said at the beginning, I wasn't like bigging myself up as some kind of Casanova. I'm not. You can see how I look. I'm not blessed with any sort of model looks or anything like that. It's just a case of being confident and approaching it just like you would in a job interview or something like that. Approach with confidence, get ready for rejection, and just repeat. And eventually you will get somewhere, and you will meet someone nice that suits you. One of the other things I would say is, I've met some guys that get like ultra focused on just one girl, and they can't get that girl out of their head, and it's like they have to get a date with that girl. And we've all been there when we're younger, when you first kind of notice girls and you start falling in love with someone or whatever, and it's like unrequited love from afar. We all kind of have that thing of just super laser focused on this one girl and trying to get that girl, even if she's not interested. You really need to forget that kind of, that's not going to work. If a girl's not interested, she's not interested. If you keep going back, you're kind of just going to be creepy and stalkery. That's not going to get you a date. All the Hollywood movies that show these guys sort of trying over and over and over again to get the same girl, and in the end it all works out, that isn't real life. No girl wants to be relentlessly pursued by a creepy dude. So if it's a no, it's a no. And if that girl changes her mind in the future, I'm sure she'll come and find you. If she suddenly realised that you actually were exactly the kind of guy that she would like to go out with, she will be able to find you. She will go back to that gym or that cafe or wherever it was you met, and you'll bump into each other again. You don't have to sort of persistently keep harassing her and sending her flowers or whatever. That's not a cool thing to do. So young guys, it's a simple thing, I'm telling you. All you've got to do is simply approach girls, be nice, be kind. Take a little bit of time to make sure you've sorted your personal hygiene out, that you're clean cut, that you've made every effort you can to present yourself in a nice manner, just like you would at a job interview. If you turn up looking like you've just scraped yourself out of bed in the morning and you haven't made any effort to put any decent clothes on, you're not going to get the job. Same goes for dating. Make sure that you look presentable, and you can't do anything about your appearance in terms of your genetics, but what you can do is put the best possible facade on that, that you make sure that you look really presentable and that you actually care. That's another thing that girls are going to be looking out for. They want to go out with a guy that cares enough, to look after himself, because they're going to be looking for you to look after them, and maybe in the future to look after a family. And if you can't even take care of yourself, then you're not probably a good prospect for looking after them or a family either. Last thing I would say is be a really good listener. That's pretty off-putting if you go on a date and all you do is talk about yourself, and you're just sort of there bragging and boasting. You might think that girls want to hear all about your amazing job or the holidays you've been on. Actually, they're going to be a lot more impressed if you've got the ability to sit and listen to them and ask questions about them. And if they ask you questions, be prepared to have some good answers. I would focus on asking them interesting questions, not like, oh, what colour do you like? Try and make it a bit deeper than that, like asking about their job, asking about what they like to do, asking about their friends and family and their background. All that kind of thing will lead you down to interesting topics and discussions to have, and they will feel like you're someone who actually cares about them, rather than just a guy that's kind of playing the game and trying to get them into bed, which is what a lot of guys are doing. Take that out of your focus. If you're trying to meet girls in a serious manner, then don't let your focus be driven by sort of getting some sort of sexual liaison as quickly as possible with that person. what you should actually be focusing on is, you know, building really good conversations, trying to have some fun, trying to find some areas of shared interest that you can kind of have a laugh about and have a bit of banter about. And then if that girl feels really comfortable with you and you've got these things that you've got in common and you can have a good laugh with each other, the other stuff will come afterwards. It's pretty natural, you know. And if it doesn't and she friend zones you but you remain friends, so what? You've gained a great friend and that wasn't meant to be in the first place. It's no great loss. You don't have to sort of be really sad about that, and then you just move on and repeat and do it again. It's been good practice. Guys, I hope that has helped somewhat. I know that it's a big issue for a lot of young people. In fact, young people are dating less and less. They're having less relationships. They're meeting less people. I think that's probably because they're all focused on, you know, talking online or whatever, and they're kind of losing the ability to actually have a one-on-one conversation and the social etiquette that surrounds that. So best of luck. Try it out. Be confident. Smile. Be nice, and you'll get somewhere. I promise. Take care.